Hello, here we go. It's the Cop-Out Podcast.
The Reds have got no money, but we'll still win the league. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another Cop-Out Podcast and a match review to react to that. What was a very good win, wasn't it, Matt? 3-0 win over Palace. Probably, it was probably more difficult than the scoreline suggests in terms of 3-0, but a good win nonetheless. Good another clean sheet at Anfield, and straight back into it. How are we doing, lad?
Good. I mean, solid win. You'd think before kickoff when the lineup came out that we were going to get trampled, but prove them wrong. It was a lovely win, and yeah, agree with what you said. Probably the scoreline tilts it a bit in our favour. It wasn't as clear cut as 3-0, but I'll take it all day. Good result.
That's what I mean. And like you said, the team news, I was just going to ask you on that. Like, obviously, Konate gets his debut, which was nice to see. Tsimikas comes in for Robbo, and then Milner comes in for Trent, who, I don't know, apparently it's not COVID, but it's just an illness. But, I mean, there was some journalist who put a piece up after the Milan game going, is it worth playing Trent for how good he is at attacking, how maybe he could be got at defensively. And I think today just proved just how much we do miss him, albeit we have won 3-0. And I mean, this is just probably like clutching at straws a little bit, or, maybe, but I thought Milner done well, though, in his absence. I thought Milner was solid, coming up against Zaha as well. Fucking hell, he's one of the most difficult players you can come up against in the league. But I think Tsimikas as well came in and done well, didn't he? But how was your feeling when you saw the lineup? Were you surprised that with the likes of Tsimikas and Konate starting?
I was a bit shocked when I saw the lineup. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't watching the build-up, and I wasn't aware of Trent's illness. So when I saw that lineup, the only one that I expected to see was Virgil. And everyone else, I was just like, what is going on? So I quickly had like a sprawl through the subs. And when I saw Trent wasn't there, I was like, oh no. But then he's just sick. So he's got a week to recover, because he probably won't play against Norwich. I'll be shocked if he does. But I'm sure he'll be fine. But yeah, look, I was a bit concerned having Milner at right back against Zaha, but he proved everyone wrong, because he had that tricky little winger pocketed for the whole game, which was nice to see. Tsimikas wasn't really concerned, because how he started the season, he's quality enough. And then I was a bit shocked to see Konate at centre back. I'll be honest. I thought we'd see either Joe or Matip, and he'd get a start against Norwich in the Carabao. But look, he did well. He was solid. He was quick. He was strong. His passing was good. And look, he's got a clean sheet at the end of the day against a tough Premier League team. So
yeah, ideal, isn't it? Really. Yeah, I think like with Konate, I think I kind of had a feeling he would play Konate, especially after like Matip played 90 in Leeds and Milan, and then Gomez came in for Van Dijk. So it just seemed like it was the turn for Konate in this one, and I think it was. I mean, it's not a big shout to throw a defender who's that good in for his debut. It's got to happen at some point, but it kind of. He did well with what he had to, didn't he? But it was nice to see him anyway, and obviously that Van Dijk and Konate partnership that could be an absolute beast of a partnership once Konate's up to speed with the league and whatever else. But today was a really good test up against like Benteke and Edouard towards the end, and Zaha. He had to really be at his best today. But it was nice to see that he could. He's more than a match for pace and strength and everything, and he's only a young kid still, so that all comes with age anyway. Once he starts to acclimatise into the league a little bit better. But let's have a look who we got in the comments. We've got Yuki in. Hi Mac. So that's our mixture of names. There we go. Mac. That's me and you. Mick and Matt definitely take 3-0. Paul's put, regardless of results, the footy is absolutely tremendous to watch. Yeah, well, we'll get on to the other results later, specifically Man City dropping points. If you haven't seen that yet, that was nice. So we've got a nice 3-point cushion ahead of next games. Obviously, before Man United and whoever else play, they'll probably claw some of those back. But in terms of the first half, then what were your thoughts on that? Obviously, we get the goal just before the half-time interval, 43 minutes. Sadio Mane, the man he's finished, he's washed, he's not gonna score anymore. He's lost it. He's over the hill. He's nearly 30. He's shit. He's never going to score again, and he scores. And he was he was just a constant thorn in their side all game. I think that little ball from Simicast down the line was on every time, and every time you give it to him, you know he's not going to lose it. He's either going to turn Ward had a good game, to be fair, but it was a good battle, and Mane had the beating of him most times in terms of just holding on to it or just getting past them, whatever. But the finish for the first goal was nice, wasn't it? Especially after the ball from Simicast, the header by Salah, good save by the keeper, and then Mane gets his goal, which was, I think it was his 100th goal in 224 appearances in all comps for Liverpool. So that was nice, and he broke a record by scoring his 9th consecutive goal in the league against Crystal Palace. That's another record he's broke. I think the previous one was Van Persie scored 8 against Stoke in a row. So that's nice as well. Another record broke for Sadio. But what did you make of the goal then? Decent little goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can feel. I bet Palace feel a little bit like hard done by, because it was a great save by Whiter. You know, Salah put it right in the corner, as a really good save by the goalkeeper. But I guess Palace just went to sleep, because you can't let Sadio Mane go, and just he was in acres of space. And yeah, it was a good finish from a tight angle, to be fair. But you can't really say much more about the goal. But Mane and Tsimikas down that left flank all game looked like ridiculous. They were just finding each other all the time. Tsimikas going forward, man, he is good. He is really, really good. You know, he's got a bit of trickery about him. He's like a man possessed, and they link up so well. But look, it was a great performance all around. You know, not just Mane and Shimmy, but the whole team. Shimmy. The whole team played quite well, to be fair. The only one that had a bit of an off game was Jota.
Oh yeah,
he really should have put us ahead.
Well, yeah. I was just going to get onto that chance where it's fucking hell. It's like a yard out, and he's just gone for power, thinking, I'll just hit this as hard as I can, and it's going to go top corner. And yeah, he was a little bit off the boil, but I think he has been the last couple of weeks, and that's a testament to how good the standards usually are. Really, that you notice that dip a little bit more. That's why I think when I done my team prediction, I put Minamino in for Jota, because I just thought maybe this might be a good game to take Jota out. I mean, he was good. He was always a willing runner, and he always will be that, like tracking back down that left hand side. When he went over to that left side, he was always like closing down and whatever else, just making a pain of himself. But he wasn't quite there in terms of his attack and play, and I suppose that's why he came off towards the end of the game. But he was, I mean, he's always good to have on the pitch, because usually those chances the one that he did miss specifically, he usually just fucking smacks them away, doesn't he? To be fair.
Yeah, I mean, his finishing is lethal normally, which is why it was quite a shock. Given like. And I don't want to give Mane too much stick here, but given how they've both been performing in front of goal recently, you wouldn't be surprised if Mane missed the open goal and Jota put that one away. But there's something about Crystal Palace that Mane just, I'm not going to say it turns into Ronaldo or anything, but he turns into Ronaldo.
Well, yeah, nine in a row. That's
impressive.
Fucking amazing, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Like, you're always, like, every season goes by and, like, yeah, he scores against Palace, and then you get to the point where it's like, if he scores today, he breaks the record, which is like, I mean, it's a nice little record to have. And if you get to the one in the reverse fixture, then even better.
Is it more Mane is just like unreal, or are Crystal Palace just really shit at figuring out how to stop it? Because you'd think after 9 games in a row that the manager just be like, you know what? Like, if we lose, fine, but this fucker's not scoring again. Because that'd be my attitude towards this. I'd just be like, look, he doesn't score. Okay, like, just not him. Because it's borderline ridiculous now.
Yeah, I think it's just, well, they've changed manager, haven't they? But I think he was. I mean, I thought Palace were really good today. To be fair, I thought they were really good. Obviously, we got in 1-0 at half time, and like that first maybe 10-15 after the half, they were really, like, the chances. I can't actually remember at what point the chances were. I mean, we were saying before we started recording that after Thiago went off, we just didn't keep the ball as well. And I mean, that Edouard chance was, I mean, we're going to get onto how good Alisson Becker was today, but he should be putting that away, shouldn't he? Edouard, I mean, he was already dubbed the super sub after last week, and he's coming on and everyone's like, he's going to score again. And really he should have. The first touch was horrendous, and then Ali just obviously fed off that and knocked it away from him. But should have been back in the game with that one, shouldn't he? Really.
Yeah, I mean, Ali made a couple big saves today, especially in I think it was the first 2 minutes as well, when Zaha probably should have taken it first time as well, took a touch in it, and it bobbles over him, and he
Yeah.
was against the post. And there's the same against Edward, and I think was it first or second half to Conor Gallagher as well, who took a bit of a heavy touch, and Ali was there just to pounce. He's just really reading the ball. He's really important. He shouldn't really. And this is what makes me think that he's so good. He shouldn't really have a chance to save some of the attempts that he does save, but he's so quick and he's so well positioned, and he just sort of has this. It seems he's got this sense of where the ball is going to go, that he gives himself that extra half a second to be able to make an impact, and he has. But yeah, I mean, when the ball got fed to Edward, I thought the worst, to be honest. I was like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah.
But Ali's there, and I agree completely what you said. Like how we said before the pod started, is that when Thiago came off, we did lose a bit of midfield control there, because I think we've seen in the last few games that Thiago has become really important in terms of setting the pace and controlling the game from the midfield. So hopefully he's not out for too long. But with muscular injuries, hopefully it's precautionary. But I don't want to be a pessimist here, but I hope he's okay.
Yeah, I think especially after we lost Harvey Elliott as well recently, we don't want to follow that up with a fucking injury to Thiago, who, like you said, he has become so important. He just drops into those little gaps between Van Dijk and whoever the other centre half is, and just picks it up and just those raking balls to right back or left back or wingers or whoever else. Like there was a few stray ones today where they got cut out, but more often than not, he just picks that up and he's such an outlet, because he doesn't really get closed down, because people know there's no point, because he's just going to do the little Thiago shimmy past them and knock it over the top of them. But yeah, hopefully that's not like I said, hopefully that's a precautionary one. But it brought Cater onto the field, which we'll get to in a bit after we've talked about the Mo Salah goal. 78 minutes, 2-0. And that was just kind of, I think you could see the relief for me was there since that goal went in, but the relief, I think, was encapsulated in Mo Salah's celebration, because he just fucking took his shirt off and just went mad, and which I absolutely loved. And I think even he knew, like, it was a difficult game today, and that kind of just sealed it, and we could kind of relax a little bit more after that.
Yeah, especially because Palace were pushing in that second half.
Yeah.
We were a bit under the cosh there. But Mo steps up like he's been stepping up for the last 4 or 5 years now, and how he has this season, because he started like a house on fire again. Well, I can't wait for people to stop doubting him. But he puts it into the back of the net, and it was just sort of, I was watching it with my granddad, and we just sort of looked at each other, and I was like, well, he was always going to score, wasn't he, at some point?
Yeah.
Against Salah. And yeah, the relief. I don't feel like, why do people get booked for taking their tops off? Like, what's so bad about? Why?
I've no idea. I still don't understand it. I still think it's the most stupid rule ever, because it has always been a celebration, like throughout the history of the Premier League, and fucking even before that, just taking your shirt off and just fucking just doing that around your head or whatever. Like Gerrard's done it loads of times over the years, and whoever else. But yeah, it's one of the stupidest rules, I think, that, because I mean, he wants to fucking take his top off because he's ripped as fuck, so he wants to show everyone the goods and that. So but he can't do it anymore.
Jealous, I think they see these players take their tops off and they're all like fucking ripped shit, and they're like, you know what, now that's not allowed.
They're like tucking into it like a fucking steak pie and go, oh shit, I fucking should probably put that down. But let's have a look where we got the comments. We've got Alex in the comments here. Nice one for jumping in again, mate. Sorry, lads, not got much to contribute today. I'm on a wind farm in the North Sea. Was following the game through Twitter feed, just like the old CFAX days. Fucking hell. It's dangerous following a game through Twitter. There's many a time would have done that, and you're like, oh, fucking hell. Like, you're thinking a player must be having a shocker, and then you actually watch the game when you get back, and you're like, yeah, that person I was reading was just clearly a knobhead or whatever. So yeah, I admire you for doing that, but yeah, I wouldn't be doing that myself. I'd just get myself a little video alternative, shall we say. But like I said, as just said here, hi, my first time in the comments. Just wants to say, though, the only negative about today was going back to the old days of using the snail pace stream. Haha, the Reds were rampant. Hashtag Klopp for the top. Yeah, nice one, Sarah, for jumping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, was the game on in Gibraltar? I mean, I bet it was, because it's fucking never on over here when it's a 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, we've got at least the provider I'm with, we get TV channels from Dubai I think it is when Martin Tyler, where he's at, watching it on beIN Sports.
I wish Martin Tyler was further away than that. I wish he was like just the other end of the world, so like he couldn't commentate on any games anymore.
To be fair, he made a comment about Thiago. I actually agree with it, and I don't really agree with him much. But he said something on the lines of Thiago passes the ball in a way that it tells the player receiving it what to do with it. Like you either ping it to him so that he takes a touch, or softly to encourage him to shoot, and that's true. But that's not the only thing he's got right in his life.
I was going to say a broken clock's right twice a day, isn't it? So he's bound to get one at some point. Yeah, and I think like obviously like 2-0, and you can just put those abs. To be fair, he's a machine, isn't he? But yeah, like you said, that kind of settled everyone down. I'm sure it settled everyone down. That was in Anfield as well, just to like, right, Palace were quite good. We needed that goal to kill them off a little bit. And then let's come to the absolutely boss goal, and accompanied by the fucking even weirder celebration by Naby Keita. Corner that comes out to him, and like the technique on his left foot as well. It was fucking class goal, wasn't it?
See, you think it's weird. I think it's just, a couple seconds of pure honesty from Naby. The look on his face told me, fuck, have I done
that? I just thought, wow, yeah. Because the commentator said something like about Cantona, and I was like, and instantly thought like Balotelli or something like that.
That's my stream. That's what I was watching.
I wasn't watching a stream.
When he hit it, I think that he had the intention of, let's just get this on target.
Yeah,
I don't think for the life of him, I don't think that he thought it's going to rip the top corner of this. And I think when it did, he was just like, oh, okay. Because he didn't start smiling until he was swarmed. And I guess that kind of realized like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like we said before, Thiago coming off was a blow, and let's hope he's okay. But the fact that we got Keita on, and for him to score a goal like that was nice to see, and it was a boss finish, wasn't it? Like to have that control, especially with your left foot. Like he's just great to see.
It was a goal befitting of a Liverpool number 8. Let's just say that.
Yeah, very, very true. But let's have a look at what we've got in the comments here. Paul has put, do you guys think we are going to stick the kids out for Norwich, or are we after the silverware this year? Nah, I think wholesale changes. What do you reckon, Matt?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if there wasn't. It's a perfect time to give everyone a bit of a rest. I think we'll probably see Nat Phillips come in, Kelleher come in. If Nico Williams is fit, and I think he is, he'll probably start. I expect Costas to start again, and just everyone that we haven't really seen. No, I think they'll get games. I think Origi will get another start. Taki will get back into the squad. Yeah. Ox. I'd be surprised if there's any senior players that are going to play at the weekend start against Norwich.
Yeah, I think that just makes the most sense, doesn't it? Obviously, maybe a blend of a few of the first teamers and then like some squad players. But yeah, Neco Williams, definitely. Canate and Gomez, maybe even Nat Phillips. There's Kelleher, like you said. Yeah, Nat Phillips and Gomez, maybe after Canate got 90 today. Yeah, but there's a load of options there. Obviously, we've lost Elliott, and hopefully we haven't lost Thiago for long. But like Curtis Jones came on, I thought he did good. He'll probably start against Norwich as well. Curtis Jones, I think he deserves it.
Wouldn't be surprised if Millie started again. Because I think
Millie in midfield, yeah.
Trent will be back for the weekend, so I expect Millie to like captain the team probably from the 6, and you let Jones and Ox sort of fill up the other 2 positions. Is my guess, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there's options, isn't he? Like, I know we didn't sign anyone this summer, which obviously apart from Canate, who played today, and we were all a bit disappointed with that. But there is options in the squad that, we did want maybe one at least or 2 extras, but we didn't get them, unfortunately. Whoever they were and whoever Klopp was looking at, and maybe didn't think they were the right players or whatever. But there's options in the squad, isn't there? Like Taki didn't come on today. Origi came on for the last 5 or whatever, and he done well against AC Milan, which we didn't even manage to do an AC Milan review. But Origi did well in that game as well, didn't he? So he's someone who you can. I don't want to say you can rely on him, but he's always willing to. He's he's willing to sit on the bench, is what I mean. He's willing to sit on the bench and come on and whenever you need him to. And I think players like that are, I suppose, that few and far between, aren't they? I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Harry Kane problem that Tottenham have found, that when you've got such an established strike force, who are you going to find that's good enough but not going to cause problems deputizing? We got lucky with Jota to some extent, because if anyone's going to sit here and say that they expected Jota to be this good, they're lying. Because I thought he was quality, but I didn't think he was going to near enough replace Bobby, and which he's shown to be doing.
Who is your absolute favourite as well? So
yes. So a bit better about that. But there's only so many players that will take a decent wage, be good enough, and then okay with deputizing and not kicking up a fuss like behind the scenes. I'm sure you can sign someone and put them on the bench, but they're going to kick up a fuss more often than not behind the scenes, and that's not good for the camp, especially a camp as close knit as Liverpool. So, and Klopp said it as well after Milan. People have forgotten how good Divock Origi is, and I'm not gonna lie, I give Divock quite a bit of stick when we see him perform, because it's frustration more than anything, because he played so well against Milan. He played very well a few years ago against Barca. He did the same when he coming off the bench deputizing for the last few years, and then when he puts in shocking performances, I guess it's more frustration because he can do it. But like he is when he's on it, and he's more than good enough to deputize for this Liverpool team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on Thiago, actually, I've just been looking on Twitter just to see if Klopp had said anything. Apparently, he said he felt his calf. Maybe not that serious, but we have to see. It would be great if we could get some good news on that. I mean, that's a bit of a generic statement, I suppose, that we want him to be all right, but hopefully it's like you said before, it's a bit precautionary rather than like just it was obviously an enforced change, but maybe it was just felt his calf and just thought it better to come off, because obviously we've got Keita on the bench that can come in anyway. But Klopp's also said that it was the most hard fought 3-0 I ever experienced. Wow, proper fight. We played some good stuff, which is like basically what we've been saying, really, that like maybe 3-0 seems like a bit flattering for us, because that Palace have got some like Gallagher's. He's so talented, isn't he? And they've got some good quality. Obviously, their left back. I mean, Mo had him on toast more often than not, but he was holding his own as well. He had pace and power
good as well. I mean, the whole Palace team played really well. Even like Kouyaté in the midfield showed that he was kind of wasted last year at centre back, because he's quite commanding as well.
Yeah,
I agree. It's definitely very flattering for Liverpool to win 3-0. I think we definitely deserve the win. But
definitely.
The way that the balance of the game, it looked more like a 1-0, 2-1 sort of thing, not as obvious as a 3-0. But look, a win's a win, and the fact that it was so tight and we managed to score 3 and keep a clean sheet is just, it speaks volumes about how far this Liverpool team has come. Because I remember the days of Borne, and that wasn't fun.
But yeah, I mean, just looking at the stats as well, like 61% possession. We had 25 shots today, 10 on target. They had 13 shots, 2 on target, which, I mean, they had some good chances, but I think Ali was just that quick off his line, weren't he? Which is what we're going to get to now, man of the match. And I just put a comment in there about to ask people for man of the match. But if you haven't commented, then please let us know who you think. So Dev's put man of the match Millie, Paul's put Becker, Alisson Becker, and Yuki said Alisson Becker as well. I think it's hard to look past Alisson Becker, isn't he? Obviously, Tsimikas is probably another shout who, like you said, he just looks those crosses that he puts into the box, and the fact that he does seem to have like just got what you need to. Obviously, he's had a long time to watch Andy Robertson, and he's just obviously seeing what you need to do to kind of endear yourself to a crowd, and he's just kind of grabbed hold of that and just fucking pulled as hard as he can, because he's doing so well, isn't he? Even in terms of tracking back and just putting his body on the line, flying into tackles, and maybe not in the nature of like a Greek player, obviously like Robbo and whatever else would have grew up with that in Scotland, just flying into tackles and being quite physical. And then obviously Tsimikas is from Greece, so he's embodied what it needs to be a Liverpool fullback, hasn't he? And I think he probably shades man of the match for me, as good as Alisson was.
For me, Shimikas, I don't think he'll ever reach the levels of Robbo, right? I think Robbo's like he's for me he's the best left back in the world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But watching Shimikas play reminds me of when Robertson was breaking into the Liverpool team when he was like nailing down that first team spot over Moreno. He's everywhere. He's tireless, which unfortunately he wasn't against Norwich because he was gassed. But he's tireless. He's defending well. He's attacking well. He's just bombing up and down that left flank, and he's doing. And I'm sure I don't mean this as an insult, but he's doing his best Andy Robertson impression, and it works.
Yeah,
because he is solid. He's definitely a better backup than Moreno was. But for me, for my man of the match until he got taken off was Thiago because I thought he was running the show again. But I feel a bit copy outy, picking a player that did miss 30 to 40 minutes of the match. So I'm gonna say Henderson, because I think he was everywhere. He was attacking. He was helping Mo in attack and helping Millie in attack, and then he was helping Millie out in defence. He was everywhere, and I think it was a proper Jordan Henderson performance, and that's why maybe it doesn't stand out as much. But he's so important for this team, and he really is. He's Mr. Liverpool, and defender of Jordan Henderson. I love him.
I think we should get just repost that podcast where you just Matt did an intro about must have been nearly 2 years ago now on our audio pod days where you've done an intro about being the defender of Jordan Henderson in proper Game of Thrones style. But I think we should maybe just get that clip up, the audio clip, and show it just because I thought that was hilarious at the time, and it still is.
You know what I'll do? I'll find it and then I'll do it in the next pod. I'll do the intro, and that's what I'll do. Just
get it on your phone. Just go, this is what I think about Hendo, and just put that next to the mic, and then you just mime it or something, because I just think that'll have a bit of that'll be like this. But I'm just looking again at the shots, right? And I think I put a tweet up the other day about Liverpool and how many shots we've had. I think we're on 148 now in 6 games. So that obviously that was our 5th league game, wasn't it? Today. Was that our 5th league game? It was, wasn't it? 5th league game and 1 Champions League game. So 148 shots in 6 games, which is an average of 24 shots a game. Which is, I mean, I don't know if that means we need to be more ruthless in front of goal. Obviously, the 24 that we had on target today, 10 were on target. So it's just under half are on target. But, I mean, we're being dominant, and that's what we need, isn't it, really? We just need to put them away, obviously, a bit more. And if we can, once we start to click into gear, maybe a little bit more in terms of actually putting them away. But like Dave said and what we've said, 3-0 flattered us today. And we'll take it, obviously, fucking gladly. But I think maybe just putting those chances away a little bit earlier, that we can then have a bit more to play with in terms of maybe bringing on more squad players and in terms of getting Salah off and giving them as much rest as you can.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you in the sense that we need to be a bit more maybe clinical. But then, like you said, season's just started. The guys need to get into gear, so to speak. And I'm sure that as the season goes on, they'll find their edge. Mo clearly already has his edge, but the rest of the boys will find their edge and we'll start properly pumping teams. But I suppose the positive to look in that stat is the fact that we've played Palace and we've played Burnley, who historically are very hard to break down, and probably last year wouldn't have been able to break them down. And we've still scored goals, and we've still managed to create that many chances against what are traditionally low block sides. Because even though Palace came and played football, when they defended deep. And in that first half, when we scored and when we were creating a lot of chances, they defended with 11 men behind the ball. So the fact that we're able to do that, and I think Thiago is going to be so crucial in that, so hopefully he's okay soon. But the fact we're able to do that is very positive, despite how little goals we're scoring compared to the shots we're taking. But I'm sure that will come.
Yeah, I think so. I think our attack's too good, isn't it? Mo was just... he got his goal again today. He got his obligatory goal, but in terms of his all-round play, he was just he was on fire again, wasn't he? Tracking back and closing people down, and he's a joy to watch, isn't he? At times, he's just got to that stage now where he can just run games from the right hand side of the front three, which is he's just a machine, isn't he?
I run out of words to describe how good Salah is going forward. But what I've noticed this year, and I don't know, maybe I'm doing him a disservice because I haven't really picked up on it until this season, but he's working so hard defensively for the team as well.
Yeah.
Like, if he loses the ball, and even if he doesn't lose the ball, he's always helping out the right back. I think he dispossessed Zaha in our box, then like broke his ankles, tripped him over, like got past him, and it's just like he's working out for the team. And if everyone loves Mo Salah, it's a Liverpool fan, but if you didn't for his exploits, then his work rate you're going to love as well, because he's doing everything that he can possibly do. He's running out of words. I don't know what else to say. He's a beast. He's amazing.
Yeah, well, Dave's just put there, Mo Salah, king, the Egyptian king. I think, obviously, still hasn't signed his contract. I think Klopp got asked the other day, actually, about this, and he said nothing new to add on it. But, I mean, the performances he's been putting in, obviously, against AC Milan, there's a moment, actually, where I was at the game, and Trent was probably a bit in field, lost the ball, and Salah just run back at, like, full speed to kind of thwart their counter-attack, and it's that kind of stuff that he maybe doesn't get enough credit for. And I think even Stephen Warnock, who was commentating, said like he doesn't get maybe enough credit for how much he sacrifices for the team in terms of his work rate and whatever else. And I mean, having Trent on that side, he needs to be ready to run back, doesn't he, Mo Salah, at any given point, really, just in case the attack breaks down. But the goal today, the performance he's been putting in lately, the celebration today. Obviously, the contract hasn't been signed, but that's not the sign of a player that looks like he's looking to leave, does it? Like Mo Salah, that contract will surely get sorted, and obviously, hopefully, in the coming weeks, so we can kind of just put it to bed and get on with the rest of the season, because he needs to be at Liverpool, and I think he wants to be, and I think that like the celebration today kind of just was the perfect example of that, really, wasn't it?
I've got no doubt that Salah gets an extension and that gets signed, because this, when Wijnaldum's contract ran down, there was some people clamoring him for him to get signed up, but there was more of a shout to replace him and for him to extend. But with Salah, it sort of reminds me of a few months ago when everything came out about Henderson, and the fan base just went, "What? Nah, give him a fucking contract." And the club very quickly gave him a contract. And if Mo keeps playing like the way he has, and the fan base keeps this up, because everyone is even like pundits that aren't Liverpool fans are adamant that this guy needs to get signed up, it'll happen. I think it's just a matter of time. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But there's no doubt in my mind that he'll get an extension. He deserves it.
Yeah, and I think even like if you give him like over 300k, that'll be like the most a Liverpool player's ever got in like per week in the history of the club. But the levels that, like we said, we've touched on there, he's been producing, and the goals that he's been scoring, the work rate, the all-round game. Fucking hell, if we did lose him, like obviously touch wood, it fucking would never happen. I don't want it to happen anytime soon. But if we like that whole package that he provides it's irreplaceable, isn't it? In terms of the whole thing that he provides for the team and for the squad. He's literally our. I mean, I was going to say he's our main man, but he's definitely top three of our main men in terms of what we want to do. And obviously, if Klopp obviously won't be saying anything in terms of it's definitely done, the contract or whatever, till it is done, because that's not the type of person he is. But you'll hope that this, hopefully, in the next coming weeks, that'll get sorted, because Klopp won't want to lose him, because, like I said, he's one of the main reasons why we've done so well over the last couple of years, just because he just fucking knows where the goal is, and he's just so lethal in front of goal.
I mean, apart from everything he's done, it's just, who do you replace him with?
Yeah.
Because whoever you replace him with, you're going to have to pay the money that he's going to be asking for anyway. So you just might as well pay it to Salah.
Yeah.
Who's going to get you the results, than to risk it. I want Mbappe, right? I want Mbappe, but I want Mbappe alongside Salah. I don't want Mbappe instead of Salah, because look, Mbappe is brilliant. He's no doubt, he's world class. He's outstanding, but he's not proven in the Premier League. And we've seen many players come into the Premier League and sort of flop. And I know that, for example, Angel Di Maria, Mbappe is better than Di Maria, but Di Maria flopped at United. He struggled with the Premier League, and that's always an option that players are going to struggle with the increased physicality. The demand of games in England. It's not just the Premier League; it's Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League. Carabao. There's a lot of fixtures, and especially in December, players react differently, and Salah can do it. He's been doing it for 5 years, so just give it to him. Give him what he wants, give him at the club, and that's it.
Give him whatever he fucking wants. But before we go, we'll have a quick chat about, obviously, Sarah just put a comment in there. Get a load of the City. The fans turned up for Pep, but his players didn't. Another bonus for Liverpool up the Reds. Obviously, they drew 0-0 today, didn't they? So we've got a bit of a gap on them. But I think they've drew 2 now of the first 5, which is, I mean, I thought they were going to be just absolutely relentless this year. But yeah, what did you make of that result today?
I kind of find it funny how the fans are semi-turning on him a little bit here.
That whole thing was bizarre, wasn't it? I think he came out saying, "We need you to turn up on Saturday," and obviously everyone then was putting jokes on Twitter. Like I put one just found 2 tickets for City and a 2p machine at Hollywood Bowl, just taking the piss, saying the tickets are everywhere because no one wants to go.
Yeah,
but to do that and then fans going against them, and then he's saying, "We're not like Liverpool, we're not like Man United, we're not like Bayern, we're not like Barcelona," and he gets the City. I don't know whatever a City manager needs to be. Apparently, he gets it, and he's one of them. Apparently, he said, and he'll step aside if they want him to. Which is, I mean, I'll take all that. I'll take all stuff going on for them.
If he ends up resigning off of this, and I don't think he will, right? Because it'd be crazy if he does.
Yeah,
that team will implode if he does. I've got no doubt about it. That team needs Pep, because if you get another manager in with a different philosophy, that team is built around playing the way that Pep wants to play. You bring someone in that doesn't play Pep's way, and that team's going to fall apart. Maybe not fall apart as in drop 10th, but it's not going to leave.
Hopefully. I'll take City.
It's a bit nutty. I don't think he said anything that bad. We need you to fill the stadium, Southampton, and then the fans just took it the wrong way.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's happened loads with us, when Klopp saying, "Oh, we need the supporters on Saturday," and I mean that I suppose is different in a way that he's not asking us to come because Anfield's always full anyway. Maybe asking us to come with the right mentality and not get on the back of players. But when your manager asks that of you, it shouldn't be a negative. It should be, right, we're gonna. I mean, I suppose they can't just grow extra City fans overnight, can they? In a fucking just in a greenhouse, just fucking pouring water over City fans. Go on, we'll have them ready for next week. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose it's just a different mentality, isn't it? Their club's been at the depths of fucking different leagues and then coming back up, and a lot of trials and tribulations, getting relegated and whatever else, getting took over. So I don't know how it feels for them in terms of success, because does it feel nicer that they've been relegated and they've been up and down the leagues and now they've been took over? Or does it not feel as good because it's been handed to them on a plate and they've been given all this money and they've not kind of had to fight for it? If you get me drift a little bit, they've not.
I reckon they're pissed because Guardiola has sort of in and not unintentionally, but he's clearly fed into this "our stadium's always empty" joke, and I think that's probably what's pissed them off. But I'm surprised that they're having to go. If this was Mark Hughes and he'd said that, I can see them turning on him. It's fucking Pep. This is the wrong guy to turn on.
This is literally the main man.
It'd be like us turning on Klopp.
Yeah,
that is the importance that he has on that team.
Yeah, it can't be overstated kind of how much they need him. But I mean, we don't want to turn into a fucking Man City pod here, so we'll leave it there. But Sarah just put a comment: the man of the match for me was Tsimikas, but Alisson wasn't far behind him. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Just for delivery into the box, just getting stuck in, and just being fucking a fucking sound Greek scouser. That's why I think Tsimikas shaded for me. But Matt, we'll leave it there. Done 40 minutes there, which flew by. So nice one to everyone in the comments. If you haven't subscribed then please do, and also like the video if you fancy it. If you've watched along, give us a little like on the video and give us a comment in the comments if you're watching this. Fucking hell. Are we sinking to those depths where you're logging on your phone just to comment? Fucking hell. Yeah, let's get out of here. If you're watching not live, I don't know what the word not live, unlive. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. If you're not watching now, but then if you're watching now, yeah, fucking hell. I'm really messing. If you're watching later on tonight, just let us know who your man of the match was, because I think that's quite a good little question, because there's quite a few today who really did do quite well. But nice one to everyone in the comments, especially this fella with the comment there, because what a guy he is. We'll be back very shortly for another pod. I can't even remember when the games are. I think I need to go to sleep, lad. I think I've had a long day today.
End it, mate. End the pod.
Right, we're out of here. Nice ones, everyone in the comments, and we'll see you in a bit.